from a rainy Coors Field in Denver, MLB Network is on the air. Today, getaway day here in this three-game series between the San Diego Padres and the Colorado Rockies. Alongside Mark DeRosa and Dan Plesac, and guys, the Padres have played well in the series so far, winning the first two in this three-game set.
Yeah, and to sweep this team right here would be a huge momentum boost. It is not easy to sweep a series. I don't care if it's 3 games or 4 games. I think back to Bobby Cox. His big thing was you just want to win series. 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4. But when you have a chance to sweep a team, you have to take advantage of it.
Kyle Freeland, the native of Colorado, gets the start on the mound. Dan Plesac, what do you got?
Hey, this guy's a fun guy to watch pitch. Not necessarily an overpowering guy. Has an ERA in the low 3s. But one thing he knows how to do, he knows how to pitch, and he knows how to minimize damage. If you're going to have an ERA in the low 3s in this day and age, you're doing a lot of things right. And this guy should be fun to watch in this one.
And at the plate is Jake Cronenworth. He will lead this one off today. And the recovery's too late as he's able to beat the throw to first. So chalk that one up as an E6, and he really can't believe it out there. So next to hit is Eric Hosmer. In his career versus this pitcher, he comes in hitting right at a 300 clip. First pitch of the AB on its way. A fastball here as he'll take a look at ball 1, 1-0. These Rockies guys, they've been on the skids recently, losers in 7 of their last 9 ball games.
Yeah, Matty V, and you know what, D-Row, this is when you really get tested. They call it the dog days of August for a reason. When you're struggling like this team is right now, the games get long, the schedule gets long, and you start looking forward towards the end of the season.
Yeah, but you got to find a way, Dan. You know as well as I do. You got to look in the mirror. You're playing for way more. Especially the way this team is underachieved, you got to keep grinding. You got to find a way to put your foot on the gas and show up to the yard every day ready to go.
Next to hit is Fernando Tatis Jr. First swings for him in this one with a runner still at first and 1 gone. Oh, and he breaks, and they've got him picked off. They slap the tag on him, and he is out at second base. Here's the first pitch to him. This one's down to third. He's got it. Throw to first with time to spare, and the side is retired. So no runs or hits here as the error turns out to be unimportant. The Rockies coming up. We've got no score. Mike Clevenger gets the ball in game 3 of the series. Dan, any thoughts?
Hey, we're looking at a real solid starting pitcher right here. You take a look at that ERA, anywhere between 3.5 and 4. But I'll tell you what he does know how to do. He knows how to get people out, and he can minimize the damage. He knows how to control the running game. He does a lot of things right. And if he does all those things, expect a real solid performance in this one.
And now here is Raimel Tapia. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the first. Guys, these Padres, as they take the field this afternoon, they've been in a nice little groove, winning 3 of their last 4 games.
Yeah, Matty V, and you know what, D-Row, this is when you really get tested. They call it the dog days of August for a reason. When you're struggling like this team is right now, the games get long, the schedule gets long, and you start looking forward towards the end of the season.
Yeah, but you got to find a way, Dan. You know as well as I do. You got to look in the mirror. You're playing for way more. Especially the way this team is underachieved. You got to keep grinding. You got to find a way to put your foot on the gas and show up to the yard every day ready to go.
First pitch coming. Here it is. And this ball's going to find the seats down the left field line. Foul, strike 1. Another one fouled off, and he's quickly behind 0-2. Clevenger has logged upwards of 140 innings of work and hangs an ERA just a little over 3.5. The windup and the 0-2 pitch. Down and away. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Oh, and he can't catch up to the fastball as he swings and misses for the second out.
Talk about blowing it by a guy. Geez, I mean, that fastball was way behind him when the swing came through the zone. I have to think he was looking for something off speed, and he just couldn't pull the trigger on that fastball.
So the next to bat will be Charlie Blackmon. First at bat for him as he enters play number 3 in the National League batting race.
What a terrific season this guy's having. Up near the leaders in batting average. Without a doubt, the highest average and the best hitter on this team.
Good bite to the slider, and he takes strike 1. Into the corner and slicing foul. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-2 pitch.
Put that in a memory bank. First time he breaks out a curveball right there, and it's a pretty good one.
Swung on and missed, and that's the final out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down for Colorado. We are still scoreless. New inning set to get underway. And standing in is the veteran third baseman, Manny Machado. First pitch of the AB now. He'll start him here with a changeup, but it's taken for ball 1. Well, today's game provides the visiting squad with a chance to complete the series sweep, guys.
Sure does, and it's always difficult to sweep and win a series on the road, especially when you're playing a division opponent.
And now pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. 1-1. And one thing that would certainly help their cause in going for the sweep is if they can break out the big bats like they did yesterday. Several home runs in that ball game.
It's not easy to hit home runs with this day and age with guys throwing with increased velocity. They were knocking the ball out of the ballpark all day yesterday. They'd like to save a couple of those and use them in this game today.
On to first, and there's one gone here to start the second.
That is good. The right fielder, number 5, Will Myers.
Now at the plate, Will Myers. In his career against this pitcher, he carries a .310 batting average. First pitch of the AB on its way. And it's fouled away. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. Breaking ball that time that misses out of the zone. A 1-2 count to Will Myers. Still 1-2.
He's not going to be happy with the execution of that pitch at all. I wouldn't be shocked if it's time for the catcher to go out and talk to him. Get him to bend his back and drive the ball down in the zone a little bit more.
2 balls and 2 strikes now. The 2-2.
Hey, you guys know me. Hitting's a process of elimination, and I'm eliminating the changeup this next pitch. I'm on everything else.
Sinker, 3-2 now.
You can certainly tell at-bats like this one frustrate the heck out of a pitcher, but you got to find a way to stay composed and execute your plan.
Squared that one up just a little late.
You know, taking you inside the mind of a batter right here, you can't get in auto swing mode. You still have to control the strike zone.
And he finally wears him down here as he strikes him out after a 9-pitch at bat.
Just flat out froze him there. Nothing too deceptive about that four-seam fastball, so I think he wasn't expecting it at all.
Grisham.
In to hit will be Trent Grisham. As he'll take a changeup here for strike 1. He'll work on keeping this top of the second alive. Windup and the 0-1. Oh, got him to swing out of his shoes on that one. 0-2.
The count doesn't mean much to this batter. He's all in. He's not concerned with striking out, so he's going to get his A swing off.
And he looks at a ball. 1-2.
Man, the pitcher let the guy off easy right there. That 0-2 pitch wasn't even close. I'd rate that as a non-competitive pitch.
Still looking for our first hit in the ball game. Good swing on a tough pitch, and he'll stick around to see another one. The next 1-2 pitch. And an off-speed pitch swung on and missed, and with that, the side is retired. Padres down in order. We'll go to the bottom of the second. No score. Ready to go for the last half of the inning, and in to hit next the power-hitting shortstop Trevor Story.
That's shortstop Trevor Story.
First offering on its way, as he will take a fastball in there at the knees for strike one.
Hey, when you're featuring a mid-90s fastball like this pitcher, attack with that pitch. Get ahead. Get the offense on their toes. That opens up the off-speed pitches later in the game.
Now that's popped up. Cronenworth is there for it, and he hauls it in for the first out of the inning.
Batting fifth, the first baseman, Josh Fuentes.
So next to bat will be Josh Fuentes, and there's a look at his home and road splits so far this year. Here's the first pitch.
Ball one. Well, that's not where he wanted that curveball. It kind of backed up and stayed in. That can be effective sometimes, but it usually doesn't have the same hard bite.
Bottom of the second here with no score. 2-0.
Big sweeping breaking ball right there. Good pitch, but if he wants to get him to swing at it, he'll have to bring it in a little bit closer to the strike zone.
Now the 2-0 is laid off, but in there for strike one.
Your eyes light up from the offensive side playing in a hitter's park like this. Have to get the ball up to do some damage. I'm not mad at that tape.
He's fallen behind now, 3-1. Matt Adams is on deck. One out, nobody on. Little chopper back to the mound. Throw in time at first for out number 2.
Batting sixth.
Here's Matt Adams now. He's yet to get into the hit column in the series. 0 for 7. Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch. Checks his swing, but this pitch is right there for strike one. A little quick on that swing, and he finds himself behind 0-2. 2 out, nobody on. A ball and 2 strikes.
Hey, I get it. He wants to set up that breaking ball down and away, but that 0-2 fastball wasn't even close.
The 1-2. Smoked on the ground up the middle, right to him. Throw in time, and the side is retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Rockies. We'll move to the third with no score. Ready now is Victor Caratini, as we are all set to begin the third inning in this one.
Victor Caratini.
Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. And that misses for ball one. Caratini, once a member of the Chicago Cubs organization, he was acquired via trade last year.
Yeah, this guy's fully settled in with this ball club right now. Knows what the manager and coaching staff expect from him. Is not taken aback by anything. He's been through the spring training process and gotten to know everybody in this organization top to bottom. I love everything this pitcher's got working right now. He's got presence. He's got great body language on the mound. He's got fastball command and a nice early feel for his off-speed stuff.
Ready to deliver the 1-2. And a slider runs in on him as he has to lean out of the way. And that's low, so a good eye there as he works the count back full.
Well, you don't see it all that often, but this might be a good time for a 3-2 change. If he can locate it, it's nearly impossible to hit.
Now the payoff pitch home. Right side, but it's going to be a foul ball. And he lays off there, ball 4. So the leadoff man is on here to begin inning number 3.
They haven't been able to register a hit against this guy, but at least they have a base runner here. We'll see if that leads to something.
Next up is Jurickson Profar. His career numbers in this matchup, he's 0 for 11. First pitch on its way. 0-1, here's the pitch. Caratini on at first, nobody out. In the dirt here. Ball's there, and he is out. Good throw. 1-2.
Man, this at-bat has changed quickly from 0-2 now to 2-2. A good job of plate discipline by this hitter, not chasing those pitches just off the plate.
Now the pitch. Now a swing and a miss here as he's down on strikes. So it's 2 up, 2 down to begin the third.
That's just quality pitching right there for that strikeout. Some guys are real good low ball hitters, but more often than not, keeping the ball down is going to lead to a lot of success on the mound.
Stepping in now, Mike Clevenger. As he pops the first pitch foul behind the plate. This guy's still looking at a 0 in the hit column. In front of the changeup, and he can't keep it fair. 2 strikes on him now. A windup and the 0-2 pitch. There's a shin-high slider laid off for a ball. Both teams so far yet to crack the hit column. Off-speed pitch just missed inside.
You certainly know he's not trying to work around the pitcher. But sometimes the hardest thing to do is to throw a strike to a guy that you know won't swing the bat.
Swing and a miss, and that's out number 3. Padres go down quietly. Home half of the third coming up. No score. Here's Ryan McMahon now. 7, 8, and 9 to start the home third.
Not much going on offensively so far for these guys. 6 up, 6 down. We'll see if the bottom part of the lineup can get something going.
Well, the home crowd seems a little restless, so I'm sure they'd appreciate it. First offering on its way. Now the 1-0.
Hey, there's not a lot you can do with a slider breaking down and in unless you catch it way out front. I like the idea of taking it and making the pitcher bring you something a little more hittable.
Too far out in front that time. He can't keep it fair. 2-1. Sent fouled again, and after being way ahead, now it's even at 2-2.
You can really tell they're trying to keep the ball in on this big slugger right here.
Is that an effort to keep him from getting extended, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's the idea, Matt, but he might spin to win if he starts looking for it in there.
And this will miss down low in the dirt, so he's worked it full now at 3-2.
Well, that sets up a big pitch right here, Matt, because you don't want to lose the leadoff guy in a scoreless game. It's tough to work around the leadoff walk.
Swing and a miss on the fastball, and that's the first out.
With how hard guys throw these days, 94 miles an hour
Batting
is
eight.
good, but not as
catcher.
impressive as it used to be. Professional hitters can catch up with that, so it's all about setting the fastball up with good off-speed stuff to make it look more effective. And that's exactly what he did right there.
At the plate now, Sammy Gomez. No balls and 1 strike. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1.
Hey, make no mistake about it. This lineup's going to have to get going and get a little bit more aggressive. This guy's pounding this on.
Bottom of inning number 3, 0-0 our score. And they'll try and tempt him with one in the dirt, but he'll hold back here. It's 1-2. And he fouls this one off. Here's another 1-2. And he struck him out as well. So the bottom of the order providing little resistance here, and there are 2 away.
On the mound, he's thinking,
Batting ninth.
grab some pine,
The
Rook.
pitcher.
Listen, for
Kyle.
almost everyone, the adjustment to hitting big league pitching is a big one. Some guys have success when they first get called up, but as soon as teams start figuring out how to get you out, that's when the learning process really starts.
In now, Kyle Freeland, as he will look at a first pitch fastball for ball 1, trying to avoid becoming the 3rd strikeout victim of the inning here. And that one yanked just foul. Fouled off again, and now he's in a 1-2 hole. Maybe trying to back him up a bit there with the fastball.
I know he missed with a fastball right there, but this guy's arsenal, you can't figure out what he's trying to do. He's got a lot of different directions.
Well, the play's been made, and with it comes the end of the inning. 3 up, 3 down for Colorado. We'll head to the 4th, still scoreless. Into the box, Jake Cronenworth, as we begin the top of the 4th.
There's still a big bagel in that hit column, and this is where the frustration can start setting in on a team if they're not careful. It's never a good feeling when you know the guy out there on the mound is completely shutting you down.
1 ball, no strikes to count. The 1-0.
Hey, he's got great feel for that pitch right there. He can throw it anytime he wants for a strike.
Slider laid off for a ball. Here's a little chopper up the middle. Story picks it up. Throw to first in time. 1 gone here in the 4th.
Now batting.
First baseman Eric Hosmer is in. Flew out in his only at-bat so far. And the pitch. Lifted down the line in left. And the Friars are into the hit column.
Hey, just a nice piece of hitting right there. He's able to keep his hands inside that ball, stay square as long as possible, and feed it into the opposite field for a base hit.
And that'll bring up Fernando Tatis Jr. as the first pitch to him is a changeup that can't find the zone. It's ball 1. He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far. The 1-0 is in there for strike one.
Hey, I still believe in my heart the best pitch is a well-executed fastball down and away, and that's exactly what that is. He swings at that. That's off the end of the bat. That's not hard contact at all, and that's an easy out for the defense.
The 1-2 is swung on and missed. He got him on strikes.
Boy, that's really disappointing for a guy that has wheels, right? All he wants to do is get on base and take advantage of the strength of his game, which is his speed. But with a strikeout right there, you can't get on first base if you strike out.
Here's Manny Machado now. Base hit, line drive into the corner. And this will find the wall deep in the corner. The relay, and he'll get in there safely.
Yeah, I think he was sitting on the fastball, so he got the changeup. He was way out in front of it, but he kept his hands back long enough to keep it fair down the line. That's not always easy to do.
Here's Will Myers. Skied into straightaway right. Blackman is there, and he puts this one away for the third out. So a great job there of working out a potential trouble. Padres leave a pair. On to the bottom of the fourth now, still with no score. So the Rockies lineup turns over, and to the plate, Raimel Tapia back to the top of the lineup as they're still looking for their first base runner in this one.
No doubt about that, Matt. They've got to figure this guy out on the mound. He's looked great so far.
He has, but we'll see if this second trip through the order changes anything.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments these hitters are able to make in the middle innings of this game. Hey, this isn't exactly the way you'd like to draw it up. Not throwing a lot of first pitch strikes, but the bottom line is he's getting outs.
Inside, as that perhaps will back him off a bit. 1-2. Fouled off. He pulls this one high and deep to right center field. No one can make a play on this one, and the first Colorado hit is going to be good for extra bases. And the Rockies kick it into high gear to open the inning. It's a leadoff triple.
Well, that's the first hit of the game, and it's a good one as he hustles into third. We'll see if it leads to their first run here. Sometimes a single drip will start a flood.
Into the box, Colton Welker. And on the first pitch, he hits it in the air to right. Myers is under it. He makes the catch. Here comes the runner from third. The tag, and he is out at the plate. So much for our first run of the ball game.
You talk about certain plays that dictate whether or not your ball club wins or loses a baseball game. Right there, just an unbelievable job by the outfielder to get off such a strong throw without getting a chance to get his feet set up underneath him.
And that'll bring in Charlie Blackman, as the first pitch to him is off the plate for a ball. 1-0. 0 for 1 for him here in this one. Now the 1-0. Good swing, just got to try and straighten that one out. 2-1. And a 2-1 slider is looked at for a called strike 2. Outside and a full count. 3-2.
If you're at the plate right now, you have to realize who's on deck. I guarantee you something's over the heart of the plate. You have to be aggressive in the zone right here.
Got him swinging, and that's the third out. Rockies are down quietly through 4. Still tied, 0-0. go in the top of the fifth. And next will be a speed threat in the form of outfielder Trent Grisham. He's ready. Here's the first pitch. As he overcommits here to a slider out of the zone, 1 strike to count. Really starting to pour now, and the forecast is not showing any signs of a break in the weather.
Total agreement, Matt. In particular, that pitcher's mound. You know, one of the things you have to really be careful, not just for the position players, but that mound gets awfully slippery and awfully wet when it becomes moist like it is right now. So the umpires are going to have to really pay attention to the conditions on the field.
Back up the middle, and that'll find its way into center field for a 1-out hit.
Boy, dear, it's about time they got something brewing here. First pitch single, and maybe now they can start to get some traffic on the bases.
Yeah, absolutely, Dan. Ambush tactics, not always the play. You want to drive that pitch count up and get into that bullpen, but sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures.
Jurickson Profar digs in next. As he'll go after the first pitch and bounce it into foul territory. Comes into this at-bat 0 for 1 in the ball game. And he gets him to swing through that one. He's in control 0-2. Caratini, a runner at first with 1 gone in the inning. Started the breaking ball far too inside that time. Laid off for ball 1. And he lays off a pitch outside as they draw even at 2-2. Did well just to make contact there as he spoils off a good changeup. Hoping to send him packing. Pitch on its way. Softly hit down to third. Likely no shot at 2. 1 there. On to first as they get the double play to get him out of the inning. They make it look easy, don't they? Around the horn for the double play to end the inning. More matinee baseball here on a Wednesday afternoon following this. With Mark DeRosa and Dan Plesac, Matt Vasgersian with you as Trevor Story digs into the right side of the batter's box to kick off the inning. First pitch on its way. As he swings and misses at a first pitch fastball, 0-1. A ball and a strike to Trevor Story.
This guy's been really on point so far, but it's not getting any easier. He has to get through 4, 5, and 6 right here.
Fouled away.
This guy's been throwing the ball great so far, but he's going to be tested here. 4, 5, and 6 coming up this part of the lineup.
Now a changeup locks him up as he looks at strike 3 called. 1 away.
Flat out locked him up with a changeup right there. Usually you're trying for a swing and miss when you throw that pitch in a 2-strike count, but clearly he wasn't looking for it, so it's a backwards K for him.
Josh Fuentes to the plate now. Strike 1 to start the at-bat. The windup and the 0-1. And a check swing here as he couldn't help himself, and it's ruled strike 2.
Hey, usually the second time through the order, you start seeing an incorporation of some more off-speed stuff. But this guy's locating, feeling really good about his fastball. 2 back-to-back.
To 1-2 now. Lifted in the air out towards left center. There to play it is Profar, and there are 2 away.
Now
so 2 are gone in the Rockies' half of the 5th. And up next, it's the left-handed power threat, Matt Adams. Infield shifted well to the right. Here's the first pitch.
It This guy's got to be pretty proud of what he's done so far. It's never easy to pitch on the road, but to have this kind of outing in a ballpark that is notoriously known as being hitter-friendly, it's been a treat to watch.
Ready with the 0-1 pitch.
He obviously wanted that call on the corner, but if he continues to put the ball right there, he's going to get that call, and he's going to keep pitching as well as he is.
Just a bit low. Tough call, but it's 2-2. No runs, just one hit, and one error in the ballgame for the Rockies so far. Right side. Throw on to first gets him, and the side is retired. Both teams battling the elements thus far, but we've got a tight game through 5. More matinee baseball here on a Wednesday afternoon following this. Now to bat, Mike Clevenger. He's 0 for 1 thus far.
Leading off for San Diego, the pitcher, number 52, Mike Clevenger.
And now the first pitch. Ground ball right side. Yeah, and that is through into right, and not what you want to do on the mound as he allows the opposing pitcher to reach to lead off the inning.
The batter, number 9, second baseman, Jake Cronenworth.
Standing in now, Jake Cronenworth. And on the first pitch, he grounds foul. 0 for 2 from him so far in this one. One and one to San Diego's leadoff batter.
Hey, that's a nice take by the batter right there, but that's a non-competitive off-speed pitch. Got to do better to at least entice a swing.
1-2 now as that one's fouled off. Oh, double play ball to second. 4, 6, 3, but the throw pulls him off the bag, and they'll settle for just the 1.
Well, he definitely rushed himself on that return throw to first there, and he threw it away. They got to force at second, and the runner didn't advance, so it'll just be scored a fielder's choice.
Eric Hosmer to the plate now. Lifted down the line in left. But this is just going to wind up being a foul ball. 1 for 2 in the ball game thus far. There he goes. Strike taken to throw. Perfect throw, and they got him at second. No runs, 4 hits. No errors in the ballgame for the Padres. Oh, he went for the knockout pitch that time, but a good eye. 1-2.
Hey, with 2 outs in the number 2 hole, you're just trying to get on. You got the big boys coming up behind you.
This should end the inning as it's sent out to second. And indeed it will. He throws him out at first, and the side is retired. Nothing doing there for the Friars. Still no score. Bottom of the 6th inning now, and Ryan McMahon digs into bat next.
The second baseman, Ryan McMahon.
Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch.
Hey! 0-1 is the count.
Into the windup. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a liner, but a foul ball, and the count holds at 0-2. 0-2 count, and the pitch. Popped him up. Tatis is calling for it. 1 away.
Up next for Colorado.
Striding in for the Rockies, Sammy Gomez struck out in his last trip to the plate. He's ready. Here's the first pitch. This is popped up. Hosmer has a play. Makes the play, and there are two gone now.
The pitcher,
that's exactly
21.
what they wanted out of that pitch up in the zone. They took him up the ladder, and he couldn't get up to it. So that was an easy pop-out. Well-executed pitch there.
To the plate now, Kyle Freeland. And it's fouled away. He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far. He's ready. Here's the 0-1. This is hit high in the air out toward left center. Back goes Grisham. And he gets there as he had a lot of ground to cover that time, and the side is retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Rockies. And this is still a 0-0 ball game. Up next is Fernando Tatis Jr. He'll start the 7th, and Dan, as a former pitcher yourself, you must be enjoying this. Lots of good pitching and defense today.
Well, that's one of the keys. We're seeing a lot of strikes. We're seeing a lot of swings. We're seeing some great plays on defense. This has been a snappy one up to this point.
Now the first pitch. Grounder down the line at third. And this gets past him at third as it hugs the line. A fair ball.
The third baseman, number 13, Manny Machado.
Before the delivery, a check on that go-ahead run at first. Runner's back. And in steps Manny Machado as he will take strike one on the fastball here. No balls and a strike.
Hey, it's always key getting early strikes in a count. This guy's been awesome at it so far. More than 70% of his first pitches have been in the strike zone.
Hit high and deep out to left field. Gone! A two-run shot that gives them the lead. A two-run home run for Manny Machado, number 249 career, as the Padres have taken a 2-0 lead.
Boy, talk about when you're hot, you're hot. Gets 2 bombs yesterday and another long bomb so far today. When this guy gets hot, he's near impossible to stop. I'm not giving this guy a pitch anywhere close to hit.
Here comes manager Bud Black out of the dugout heading for the mound. And it would appear he's seen enough of his starter this afternoon. He'll leave after 6 and at the very least kept his club in it to this point. Yency Almonte comes on now, and he'll take over with nobody out in inning number 7.
Yency Almonte. Now batting, right field.
So here's Will Myers. As he connects on the first pitch with a fly ball to center. Waiting on it is Tapia, 1 away. Next to dig in, Trent Grisham. It's been an 0 for 2 effort for him to this point. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. Nothing in 1 count. Here it comes. Lifted the other way down the left field line. And foul. Set to deliver on 0-2. Here it comes. Softly hit toward the hole. On to first, and there are 2 down.
The catcher, number 17.
Stepping up is Victor Caratini. And now the first pitch. No balls and a strike to count. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Swing and a liner. And that's in for a base hit, his second in as many trips to the plate. And he will pull into second with a 2-out double. Now baseball's a game of streaks and runs, and he is on one right now.
Yeah, and you've got to ride these streaks as long as you possibly can, and he's doing that coming in right here. Came into this game on fire with the stick, and he's doing that here.
That's now 2 hits so far for him in this one. Here's Jurickson Profar as he lifts it in the air to right field. Blackman is under it, and that ends the inning. But 2 come across to score in the inning, courtesy of this 2-run home run. Get up and stretch. It's now 2-0 San Diego. Well, there it is. This one is going to be delayed as the crew chief has made the call to suspend action.
You know, Matt, I just get the feeling this isn't going to be a very long delay. And we do have some clearing skies, so I think both of these guys possibly will go back out.
Well, the rain is finally past us as we welcome you back. Tim Hill will be the new pitcher on the mound after the delay as we are ready for more baseball. Bottom of the inning now, and that'll bring up the outfielder, Raimel Tapia. Ready to deliver. Here comes the first pitch.
This offense has been underachieving all day, putting way too much pressure on their own pitching staff. Someone has to have a quality AB and get this line going.
A 1 pitch on its way. A bouncer up the middle. And a base hit, so the leadoff man is aboard.
I know it wasn't pretty right there, Dan, but that has to frustrate the pitcher. Leadoff guy, anytime he gets on, usually creates a problem.
Hey, you know what, Dero, it's especially tough when you get as late in the game as we are right now. Anytime you get that leadoff guy on and have that pitcher start pitching out the stretch, it always puts more stress on that pitcher pitching out of the stretch.
Colton Welker is the batter now as he looks at a ball of 1-0. 0 for 2 for him to this point. The 1-0. No offer on that one. 2 balls and a strike. Using the slide step to try to control the running game.
Yeah, that's a good way of trying to control the running game, Matt. The problem with it, though, it has a tendency to throw your command off because you're worrying about that runner on base.
In there, a base hit.
Boy, Dero, when you're starting to swing it like this team, this doesn't matter. They bring in a new relief pitcher, right? When he gets greeted with back-to-back base hits.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you want to do. In today's day and age of bullpen down your throat, you very rarely see back-to-back knocks when these guys are throwing smoke.
That's one of the keys, too. When you come in facing guys out of the bullpen, they're being taught to throw strikes early, and they're taking advantage of it. He's throwing strikes, and they're jumping all over him.
Now here's the first offering. Charlie Blackman is in for the 3rd time here as he watches one that misses low. It's a ball and no strikes. Lifetime versus this arm. Not a big sample size, 0 for 1. Tapia on second. Welker at first with no outs. There's a ball into right center field. That's going to be a base hit. And they're on.
Hey, Dero, they're making making this guy pay. That's 3 straight singles and a run driven in.
Yeah, nothing hit extremely hard. Killing them softly, station to station with those knocks.
Trevor Story steps in now as he'll go after the first pitch and bounce it into foul territory. He's hitless in his 2 at-bats so far. And now the third baseman sneaks into position to cover a potential drag bunt. Now the slider gets the call in the bottom part of the zone.
This is why the manager pencils these guys in the middle of the order. Big spot, time for them to get back in this game with a couple quality ABs.
And he missed with it. It's 1-2.
Big spot right here. That's a great pitch to try and see if you could get him to fish outside the zone. He's still in the driver's seat right now, and I'd expect something else to miss off the plate.
The 1-2. Swing and a ball pulled hard down the line in left. And he has come through big time as this ought to tie the ball game and maybe even get him a lead.
You know, D-Row, in today's game, it's not easy scoring in the late innings, so that RBI base hit to tie things up, that comes at a really good time.
Yeah, I say it's not easy. They got 11 guys in the bullpen. I don't think a guy throws under 97 miles an hour with sinking cut. That is unbelievable he's able to get that knock in that big spot.
Stepping in now, Josh Fuentes, as he'll take a look at a slider here that misses for ball 1. No hits to this point. High in the air down the right field line. After it is Myers. And he makes the catch in the corner. He's in there at the plate. And they've taken the lead here in the 7th.
Hey, putting together good at-bats late in the games can really help out. And how about this sac fly right here? Good at-bat that leads to his team getting the lead here in the late innings.
Digging in next, Matt Adams. 3 runs already home and a potential 4th standing at third base. As he looks at a fastball that misses off the plate for ball 1.
You know, because this is just a 1-run game, this doesn't strike me as a situation where he's going to be working around a guy. I think he's going to challenge him right here.
Now the 1-1 pitch is a sinker that misses for a ball.
Well, I think he just kind of lost focus on the mound right there. It's clearly not going his way, and he's thinking more about that than the task at hand. And right now he needs to think about this hitter.
3 runs already home here. Here's a big swing and a miss on the fastball. 2-2.
That's a real nice location with that fastball up and in on the hands. Hard to do much with that because a hitter really can't extend his arms very easily.
And the slider gets him swinging. 2 gone.
Well, his struggles continue. It's been a rough go of it at the plate with him. And watching this at-bat, it's clear to me that his rhythm and timing, they're just all off. Even as a pitcher like I was, you can tell these things and exploit them.
At the plate now, Ryan McMahon. Liner into right center. That's a base hit. Coming in to score is the runner from third, and they've pushed it to 2 here in the 7th. The tag, and they'll get him at second, and with that, the side is retired. So it's 4 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and no one left on base. 8th inning coming up. The Rockies are out in front, 4-2. Now the skipper's on his way out toward the home plate area, and I believe that means we're going to have a double switch here. Michael Givens will come on now, and he'll slide into the 7 spot in the lineup following the double switch. Chris Owings will also come on now as he'll move into the pitcher's number 9 hold in the order here on that double switch. Brian O'Grady is going to be asked to get things going here as a lead off the top of the 8th. Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. He leads things off here in what's now a very close ball game. Well out in front of the breaking ball there for a strike. And now action in the bullpen as their closer starts to get loose out there. Hit hard on the ground to first. Throw on to first in time, so the leadoff man is set down to open up inning number 8. Now to the plate, Jake Cronenworth. Lifetime against this particular arm. He's 1 for 5. He's set and the pitch. And this is swung on and missed on a ball that hits him in the process. 0-1. Getting late, 4-2 our score as we play the 8th inning. And he fouls this one off. And this is swung on and missed. 2 are quickly retired to start inning number 8.
That's not an at-bat he or his hitting coach are going to be happy with at all.
Baseman.
It's bad enough to go down on 3 pitches, but none of them were even in the strike zone. That's a bad look.
At the plate, Eric Hosmer fouled off. He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. A ball and a strike to the Padres' first baseman. 2 out, nobody on. High and deep down the left field line. And foul. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Grounded to the right. And this will get through into right, and he's aboard with a single.
Boy, just when you're looking for one of those shutdown innings, you get 2 quick outs, D-roll, then you give up a 2-out base hit to extend the inning.
Yeah, you show me a big league ball player that's going to give away an AB. No chance. Everybody's in there grinding every at-bat, every plate appearance. Nice job. Maybe a little 2-out lightning starting.
Into the box now, Fernando Tatis Jr. 0-1 the count. Tying run at the plate, the 0-1. And on 0-2, he misses with a fastball. Fastball misses in the dirt as he tried to get him to chase the low one.
Hey, expect a challenge right here. Does not want to run the count full.
On a good changeup, a swing and a miss, and he's set down on strikes for the 2nd time today. Padres leave 1. They trail it here 4-2. Matt Strahm is on to pitch out of the bullpen in the bottom half of the 8th.
Number 55, Matt Strahm.
Bottom of inning number 8 set to go, and that'll bring in the first-year catcher, Sammy Gomez.
The catcher,
And now pitch on the way. He'll swing and lift a ball foul off to the left and out of play. The Friars entered the day looking to wrap up a big series sweep, but it's going to take some late game heroics in order to make that a reality.
Never easy to sweep any team, but this is a close one, and there's an old saying in baseball, a bloop and a blast, and if they can stay close, get a base hit, get somebody to hit one out of the ballpark, they're not out of this one yet.
Here's the first pitch to him. Turned on down the line. And this will stay inside the third base bag. A fair ball. Not in time, and he's in there with a double. Cutting it close here, but he comes through in the eighth to extend his hitting streak.
Yeah, and he was staring at his last at-bat right there, or probably his last at-bat. Would have been tough to get him another AB in this one, but he's able to get it done.
Hey, better late than never, and I'm sure when he walked into that batter's box right there, he's thinking, this very well could be my last AB of this game, so if I'm going to keep this streak alive, I'm going to have to do it right now.
And boy, just about overshot his man at first, but he's able to keep a foot on the bag over there, and that's out number 2. So now here is Colton Welker. He's working on a 1-for-3 thus far. From the stretch, here's the pitch. Now a fastball a bit too low here. It's ball 1. In there, and it's even at 1. Trying to keep the deficit right where it is, the pitch. And 8 innings have come and gone now as the inning is over. 1 left for Colorado as they can't add to their 4-2 lead. Robert Stevenson comes on from the pen, hoping to finish this one off here in the top of the 9th.
Number 29, Robert Stevenson.
All set for the start of the inning, and that'll give way to the third baseman, Manny Machado.
Listen, it's not easy coming back off of closers, but this guy hasn't been super dependable so far this season, and he's blown several saves up to this point.
Ready to deliver. Here comes the first pitch. And we kick off the 9th inning with a swinging strike here. 0-1.
Man, this guy's been locked in all game long. I don't know where that ugly swing just came from.
A 1 pitch on its way. Tried to get him to go after one below the knees, but it's 1-2. And they'll try to get him fishing there, but he won't offer in the dirt, and it's back to even at 2-2. Oh, and it's not often you see a guy like that flail so badly up there, but that was a great pitch for out number 1.
When your closer comes in and strikes out the first guy he faces, everyone on the team can kind of take a deep breath. Still have 2 more outs to get, but retiring that leadoff guy is always huge when you're trying to shut a game down.
He's set. Here it comes. Will Myers is in with 1 away now as he swings and misses here at strike 1.
I'm sure the boys are going to blow him up in the clubhouse for that ugly swing right here. But he has a chance to regroup. Take a deep breath, take a step out of the box, and know you got a few to play with.
Fouled away. Here comes the 0-2 pitch.
Now, 1-2.
And he strikes him out as well. So 2 punch-outs to begin the outing out of the pen.
Well, you have to feel pretty confident about the way this one's going to end up as a manager. 2 hitters, 2 strikeouts from the closer. There's not a whole lot more he can do to instill confidence that he's going to wrap this thing up without any problem.
So now to the plate, Trent Grisham, and it's fouled away. He could really use a knock here. 0 for 3 in the game so far. 0-1 count and the pitch. And a pitch in the dirt as he lays off. It's 1-1. And he fouls this one off. And now this crowd, a bit over 30,000 strong, comes to their feet. Count still at 1-2. San Diego down to their final strike. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and that'll do it here as the ball game is over.
Hey, this was a pretty tightly played game. Got a little bit of everything in this one. Some timely hitting, runs on the board, key pitching, and defense in certain spots. This one was a fun one to watch.
4-2 the final score today. The Colorado Rockies put up 4 runs in the 7th to carry them to victory. Yency Almonte wins his 4th game out of the bullpen this year. Robert Stevenson strikes out the side to record the save, his 21st of the year. So that'll do it for us. For Mark DeRosa, Dan Plezak, Heidi Watney, and our entire crew, I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way over to the new website, theshow.com.
Just letting it go. I've been wrong before, but back to when that long ago. I even hit the bottom, rolled it up, just part of my growth. My heart's always broken, I guess I'm starting over. Now my battered soul is going back through the motions. Just having the whole, was at no control, was breaking my own.
The final line score for the ball game this afternoon. For the victorious Rockies, 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. They left 2 men on base. For the Padres, 2 runs on 8 hits, no errors. They left 5 men on base.